Social media has the ability to connect people in a way we previously never thought possible. Old photos can be shared, stories from the past reminisced over, and just sometimes, the mysteries of unsolved crimes from the past deciphered. So let's take a look at the rise of the online sleuth with Top 10 Best Presents, Top 10 Crimes that were solved by social media. 10. The Case of Grateful Doe. In 1995, a young man was found in a car crash in Southern Virginia. Disfigured beyond recognition and without any identifying features except for 2 Grateful Dead concert ticket stubs in his pocket. The authorities called him Grateful Doe. His identity remained a mystery for years until a computer-generated image of his face was created using his skull in 2015 and shared over Facebook. Family members of then 19-year-old Jason Callahan recognized him immediately and sent in DNA samples to confirm his identity, closing this case. 9. Let me take a selfie. Some selfies just need to be shared with friends. Driving expensive cars, holidaying in exotic locations, or just holding wads of cash to show how rich you are. Well, an Ohio couple opted for the last of the bunch back in 2015. The problem was, it was just after they had stolen that money in a bank robbery. After police received a tip-off and investigated further, they were able to track down the woman's Facebook page and find the photos, earning them an open and shut conviction for theft and robbery. I wonder if they took a prison selfie too. 8. Twitter Pride. Have you ever watched one of those CSI shows where they zoom into seemingly innocuous clues on video footage and use it to catch their suspect? Well, it's not too far from the truth. In 2014, 2 men were beaten by a group of young people just for being in an adult relationship whilst walking through the city center of Philadelphia. Though there was some security camera footage of the incident, the police department struggled to identify the perpetrators and released the video to social media for assistance. One particular Twitter profile appealed to its followers for assistance, and after a string of tiny details were noticed and built upon from the video, the Twitter detectives were able to track the group down to a restaurant they ate in and checked into earlier in the night. The Philadelphia Police Department took over and were able to find and charge every member of that group. Looks like a little birdie was watching all along. 7. Snapchat Stories. Ever had a little too much to drink and posted something to your Snapchat story that you regret in the morning? Well, 2 teens from Georgia know exactly how you feel. In 2017, they went on a destructive rampage through their high school, smashing holes in the gym ceiling, stealing equipment, and even jumping on a police car. Of course, it's not really a night out unless you capture it all on your Snapchat story. Both teens were arrested after the story was shared with police, and were charged with multiple felonies and misdemeanors for their efforts. Not the night out they had planned, I'm sure. 6. Puss in Boots. Likely named after the adorable movie character. This next entry in our list involves the unfortunate vine of a teenage kicking a ginger kitten off his porch. Redditors and 4chan users refused to let any animal cruelty go unpunished. They eventually figured out his name, and shortly after, Walter Easley was reported to the police. Don't worry, Boots the kitten was totally fine, and the rest of Easley's pets were taken off him. 5. Ready, set, action? When you're a social media influencer, or at least you think you are, live video streaming is the best way to let people see your glamorous life as you live it. The nighttime parties, expensive drinks, driving under the influence. Wait, what? That's right, our next entry decided that she'd live stream her night of partying and drinking, but also thought that driving home whilst intoxicated would be the perfect end to the stream. Her challenge of "let's see if I get a DUI" was taken up by a good Samaritan watching, as the Florida police were notified and quickly found her on the road, arresting her after she failed her sobriety test. Guess all good movies need a police chase, huh? 4. A photo is worth 100 felonies. After posting selfies holding guns, drugs, and bundles of cash to Instagram, a young Florida teen learned the price of fame. His photo was shared to authorities, who obtained a search warrant and discovered a whole lot more than what was in the photo. Stolen guns, drugs, and almost $500,000 of stolen electronics and jewelry. In fact, they say he was likely responsible for almost 40 previously unsolved burglaries in Palm Beach County. Hope the photo was worth it. 3. Who murdered Shakespeare? No, not the one you're thinking of. This Shakespeare, Abraham, won the lottery in 2006 and found himself $30 million richer. What a lucky day! Well, until he disappeared 3 years later without a trace. Suspicion of foul play initially fell on his financial advisor, Doris D.D. Moore, but lacking the evidence of any sort of conviction, the Florida police dropped the case. In stepped the web sleuth community. Through continuous posting about the case of the missing Shakespeare, the mystery gained enough traction in the social media community that Dee herself started anonymously posting on the website to defend her reputation. What she misunderstood was the anonymous part. The co-owner of the website tracked her IP data and turned it over to the police. And after a new investigation opened with new evidence, she was found guilty of the murder in 2012. What a tale! 2. Britney's best friend. Years after the body of an 18-year-old girl, Brittany Gargle, was found dead on the side of the road in Saskatoon, a selfie of her and her friend caught the eye of the police. In it appeared the belt that authorities believe was used to strangle her, taken only hours before her untimely death. The selfie was used as evidence to secure a confession from Cheyenne Antone, who admitted to strangling her friend for an argument she can't even remember. She pleaded guilty and was charged with manslaughter, and is now serving her time in prison. 1. Facebook solves child murder. Carolee Ashby was only 4 years old when she was the victim of a hit-and-run accident on Halloween night in 1968. Police never found the killer, and the case went unsolved. Well, that was until one of the detectives involved in the original case, Lieutenant Russ Johnson, posted the story to his Facebook account 44 years later, regretting the fact that he was never able to solve the case. The story was shared many times over until it reached the feed of a woman hundreds of miles away, who had been told a story by one of her friends of being a passenger in a hit-and-run on a Halloween night many years before. The driver was a then 17-year-old Douglas Parkhurst, who was promptly questioned by the police and admitted to the crime, though he had thought that night he'd struck a dog. He wasn't charged with the murder due to the statute of limitations running out. But that's not the end of the story. Douglas died in 2018 as a hero. Ironically, the victim of a hit-and-run incident by a driver called Carol, Douglas saved the lives of a group of kids nearby as he pushed them out of the way of the oncoming vehicle, taking the hit himself. Was this the closing of a karmic loop? We'll leave that mystery to you. We hope you enjoyed watching this top 10 best list, and please like and subscribe to catch all of our newest and greatest videos. As always, if you have any suggestions to feature top 10 lists, comment down below, and who knows, maybe you'll see your name and idea come to life in the near future. Thanks for watching.